Good evening. It's the professor here. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And I do believe we're live. I'm just waiting to see if it shows up on my other screen right now. Here we go. Let's see. Let me again welcome you to an evening with me in the shadows. It's actually quite light outside, but we're in the shadows here because I've drawn the blinds. And welcome. What are we going to do? We're going to go over the videos we've created for this week. And we are going to have a look to see what's coming up on the channel. And then, of course, we're going to have a chit chat and get to know each other. So once again, welcome for joining me. Of course, Dragon Tears is here. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining me once again. It's lovely to have you here. And cheers. So let's crack on. Let me share my screen. Oops, wrong buttons. Let's make sure I get this right. So many screens. How about that? Yes, there we go. Perfect. I'm very well. Thank you so much. I'm very, very well. It's been a lovely day here today. So a little bit of sun, relaxed. Had a nice meal. And yeah, not too much today, to be honest with you. Relaxing a little bit. So enjoying the weather. That's what I've been up to, is enjoying the weather today. Trying to have Sundays as a little bit of a rest. But yes, it's been a great day. Thank you so much for asking. I appreciate it. Where did we get to? We got down here somewhere, and we got the trailer out last week. And then I'm really going to skip most of these. So excuse me, because I want to get to the last one, of course. Excited last episode. We got to Awaken the Primal Vampire, and that was really a emergence of the Alpha. We saw the Alpha in its prime coming back. An exciting time. Jumped in the way, stopped the army of undead with a roar. It then revitalized the Lycan to the call of the Alpha, and they become strong again, strong enough to defeat Eldur's undead. What a scene. I watched that even though it's my voice, I watched it over again. It's very great. It's one of my favorite scenes in that episode. Then we moved on. We had the introduction of Necros, a really scary figure. It just had enough. He just had enough of his flock being used, his powers being wasted and traded and used by others. He just had enough. So here he is. He emerges live and enters the fray. These two these are a combination. And then we had a special one, which I thought was good. I did a double bill. Episodes 8 and 9 in one. I think he has a good reason to be peed off. A very good reason. Everyone using his powers to bolster their armies and watching his flock just be destroyed. Episodes 8 and 9, well, of course, we saw episode 8 go down. But episode 9, my goodness, all about Simon Winter. Summed up the reason why and how he can calculate and how he is who he is. Another favorite episode of mine. Then we got to the final. This is the one I really want to get to. I really want to get to the final and go over that. Episode 9 was amazing. I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed creating it. I think the last 2 chapters I rewrote a couple of times, but got there in the end. And yes, I enjoyed creating that. I enjoyed going deep into have always had the reasons why. I mean, Simon Winter can outthink anybody. His intelligence is a next level. But why? So we had to go in and explain it. We had to explain it, and that came out. So then we had the final chapter. The final chapter. Well, you thought it was gonna be the final chapter. Of course, it was never gonna be the final because I've had ev I if you was with me, which you was last week, you saw how excited I was about the idea of season 3. And when season 3 come out, I knew what I needed to do to create season 3, and it had to end the way it ended. So there's a reason for explaining Simon Winter, and there was a reason you just saw the world, the balance of the world just teetering, just being pushed and pushed, and all the calculations of Simon Winter were just one more push. And he drops the straw as a significant, and at that point was when the world just said, "Enough," and it collapsed. And then we think, "That's the end. Must be the end." But of course, we had the Lycans, the Lycan god who created that realm beforehand to actually save his Lycans and not get them involved in the battle. And what he did, he created an alternate reality, which of course didn't crash the same as the other one. If he hadn't have done that, maybe he would have crashed as well. So he had to put him in a safe place, and then he was able to summon the 2, and it's like, it's this. We're gonna fight. There's only one power. The 3 powers together are okay, but they all need one power all converged. And of course, they're not gonna do it voluntarily, so they've got to fight. And what better way than put their warriors on the playing field and fight to see who is gonna be the one god, the one god. But we're missing a player. Of course, we now know the reason this happened in the first place was because of Simon Winter. We know this now. We know the reason it happened. So while the gods are playing their game, is Simon Winter playing his game? So that's where I left you, which I hope wasn't too painful. It's like it got you to that critical part. Okay, now we're gonna save it for season 3. There was no way that I could have fit everything into the end of season 2. As like I said in my comment, perhaps your words were too powerful for YouTube's um, comment section. Absolutely. I put I literally this happened to me when I was writing the the finale. I was writing the finale, and the program I was using, I went to save it. I didn't save a chapter that I actually wrote, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna redo that." But I'm glad I did because when I redid it, I believe it was better. I believe it was better. And isn't that the same thing that we do in life sometimes, is we go around and then something goes wrong, and we dwell on it too much, and we're like, "Oh," but in reality, it wouldn't have gone wrong if it was the best version. The best version is waiting for you to recorrect it. I believe that's with everything. Everything in life. I think the universe gives us what we really need or what we deserve. So when we go through hard times, it's like you ride the storm because after the storm, there's always a clearing. That that sort of summed up that day when I wrote the chapter in the finale, and I went to save, and the actual computer crashed. It just wouldn't come up, and I was like, "Oh, that worked." But when I rewrote it, I still had it fresh in me. I rewrote it, and I believe it came out better. So I'm not doing that. tone the spice down. I don't think YouTube punishes me like a drunken soldier. Excellent, excellent. So what have we got coming up for the channel coming up? So, of course, we got season 3, which I'm gonna wait for a while. Um, yeah, the subscriptions are going up nicely. Thank you, everybody that's subscribing, helping out the channel, keeping it growing. Um, clearly, it's getting popular. Obviously, we want to see it more popular. So, if you are watching this right now, that's a good time to remember if you haven't subscribed yet. Little button down there that you can subscribe and like, and that really does help the channel out. It helps us to grow. It helps me to create more for you. So, where was I? What's coming up? So, of course, we've got season 3 coming up, and season 3 is going to be so epic. But I'm not saying anything about season 3. So, what else we got coming up? In the meantime, it's not going to be coming out straight away. I'll tell you what. But we have got some other, or I have got some other videos coming out. So I was looking back over my channel. There's a few stories back there which I looked at, and I know they should have done better. More people should have seen them. And so, and I rewatched it, and I thought, okay, maybe I need to make it better. So a couple of videos I'm going to redo because I want them to be better than they are. Okay, because I believe the stories in them are just so good. They are so good, and I think they're quite chilling, so quite scary. So this is what I would want. I'd want to listen to something that makes me think about the ending. Am I on the right track? Exactly like the Crimson Dawn series. Who would have guessed that Watwood Winter would be on the track to do what he did? So I'd like to build it up and then take it away. And so, especially when we're talking of horror, and like ghost stories, for example, there's a couple I wanna redo. So I'm gonna redo those first before I, bring out season 3, of Crimson Dawn. So look out for those. They'll be coming out shortly. I'm gonna get started on those on Tuesday. So look out for those. They'll be coming out shortly, and, please go ahead and watch them. And don't forget to like, and, that helps me. That helps the videos to get seen by other people, I think. Yes, please do. Please do listen to them. Yes, I have some I do too. I think that the original older, like, horror stories, the old ones we used to watch are simply the best because they're more psychological. And, I have a couple of ghosty stories which I really wanna retell. I'm gonna redo them. I'm gonna put new graphics and re-record the voice, so it comes across maybe a little bit better. 'Cause I wanna get out and see how it does. Um, we're a very old country, very old country. There's lots and lots of places around with lots of history here in the UK, United Kingdom, in England specifically is where I am. I've been around many places. I've been around many places, and we've been around at nights and into the most haunted location in the country in the evenings, and it's been very spooky, very interesting. But we are definitely a very old country with a lot of history, a lot of history. But some of the you've got some like isolated locations, some nice isolated locations you can go to. But some of my favorite locations I've ever been to are bigger locations. For example, I really like the area of Stonehenge. I really like Stonehenge simply because no one knows why it's there. It's that old. It's that old. No one knows why it's there. What was it built for? Nobody knows. No one knows how they built it because it's so old. That's why I like. think that sort of air of mystery around. I do like going to Stonehenge is a really favourite place of mine, and I do like going to the, Tower of London. I haven't been for a long time. I do like the Tower of London around there. It's very eerie in there. You think of the history, not just because of how the vibe is, how it feels, but the history of what happened in that place. We've been to haunted places. We went and, we had a night at a place called the Borley Rectory. It's supposedly the most haunted house in England, or haunted rectory. It's not there anymore. The rectory wasn't there when we went there. We went around the area, and there's a churchyard. We walked around there. Yeah, I think it's the idea of being in a place and understanding the history of it, because then once again, we use our own mind, our own creative juices of what could have happened, and you read the history about maybe someone was locked in the tower and you think, "Well, what would that feel like? What did they do? How were they treated?" And now your brain is creating this thing, it's creating its own little movie. So that's why I like those type of areas, and like say Stonehenge. Um, a favourite of mine as well is, Madame Tussauds. I haven't been for so long, but Madame Tussauds, because they had the Jack the Ripper event in there, and the London Dungeons, again, because they had the Jack the Ripper event in there. So I grew up where Whitechapel is. I grew up, like, literally, um, maybe 15 minutes away from there on the tube. You could jump on the tube and you'd be there within 10, 15 minutes. And I used to travel down there weekends, literally every weekend, and walk around as a young boy, exploring. And I had a friend who used to go, and we went to all the Jack the Ripper sites. And, we used to go into the Madame Tussauds area and things like that. So that was many, many years ago. And bless my friend, he's not with us anymore. But I do appreciate the time I spent with him. He was a really dear friend. I miss him very much. And unfortunately, got very ill. And yeah, I miss him a lot. But we had such a great time. Those memories are alive. So thank you so much. But yes, that's what I like. You see, it's like create. You create your own movie, if you like, your own story. Imagine in a place you know the history. Now you're the creator of how you feel about that area, about what goes on. They tell you, okay, this person was locked, the two boys locked in the Tower of London, and then you think, "Oh, what would that feel like? What did they do? How were they treated?" You create the movie. I think that's that's really interesting. That's great. And also you can go to a location, a haunted location. I went to, like I said, I went to the Borley Rectory. That was interesting. Nothing really. We didn't see nothing. Um, but it was an interesting time. It was an interesting, and then once again, I knew the history. I know the history very well. I went there. I went to. Just trying to think the name of the road. Um, is in Enfield. It was on the film The Enfield Haunting. It's a really. I didn't go in there, but we went past there just as being curious about it. We went there as young lads. It was interesting. So yeah, we've been to up and down the country to a few locations in our time. Very interesting. These days, a young kid, and I say young kid, or teenagers, and you're into your horror and everything, and you want to go and explore that a little bit more. So you go around haunted places, you go find locations, you go to the dungeons, you go here, you go there, you try to figure it out for yourself. But yes, I've been to a few places, and very interesting indeed. Very interesting. My partner simply always says she wants to go to Salem, um, and so I don't know. That's somewhere maybe it's on our list to do at some point. If anyone's ever been to Salem, also, someone I follow on YouTube went there and did a video about it, and that seemed quite interesting. Yes. So where are we? I think we will. I think we will. We will at some point. At some point, we will go. We will go. Um, where are we going? Maybe I'll go for my 60th. Maybe I'll go for my 60th. Which will be in 3 years. So yes, not long. Let's try to look forward then. Where were we? Yes. I am a youngling. I am a youngling. I don't always feel like a youngling, but I definitely am. I spent many years in doing martial arts as well. And my body is complaining to me, I think is the word. Complaining to me about it. So, but like I say, always feeling a little bit achy here and there, but so I'm moving the screen here, I don't know why. Where are we going to go? Yes, so ghost stories coming out. I'm going to redo the ghost stories. We'll put them out. They're on my channel, and they don't have many views on it. I really want people to hear them because I think they're so good. So look out for those, please. If you see them, give them a look. Give them a look because they are, I believe, a little bit different. Obviously, the thing that's picking up my subscribers are the Crimson Dawn, the werewolves, and the vampires and the undead. And we don't have ghosts. So maybe I should introduce ghosts into Crimson Dawn so that I can then say, don't forget to watch the ghost stories. But yeah, give those a listen when they're out. I'm going to start working on those on Tuesday. So it took me a couple of days to get the first one out. So please look out for that. It should be interesting. I think the problem with ghosts is how do you deal with them? What do you do if they're not even on this plane? I'm sure there'd be a way. I'm sure there'd be a way. I think in season 3 they do. I'm not. They're going to have their hands full. That's all. I think they have their hands full enough. Maybe season 4. Season 4, Crimson Dawn, Rise of the Ghosts. And yeah, that was it. And then I put the last one out. As usual, I'll mix them together. A lot of people ask me, I just want to watch them all in one go. If you watch them all in one go, it's like 5 hours. So I try and split them into 3s or 4s. So you can just watch a couple or 2 or 3 and you've got the whole series. So that's why I always, if you ever see in these 3s and 4s in one go, why do you do that? It's because people message me and say, where are they all? Can you not put them all together? If I was to put them all together, there's like 5 hours. If we go down somewhere here, I did do all of them in one. I'll find it for you. I don't know where it is now. It's probably not even on here. Yeah, 5 hours, 25 minutes for season 1. That's a long video. So that's why. If you're wondering why do you put the 3 and 4s together? Why not just put them all together? Well, 5 hours 25 is a long video. It took all day just to upload. So that's why. If we split them up into 3s and 4s, they're easily watchable. And yes, just in case you was wondering. Good. That's what we've got planned for the channel. Yeah, I like them as well. Just put them on and let them go as well. I did put one out where it was just the audio, no images, no music, just the audible as well, which I think that was quite nice. Especially if you watch it while maybe driving or listen to it, I should say. I also went to, we had May the 4th Some people don't like Star Wars, but my brother runs a Star Wars event, so I had to go. I had to head over to a place called Lowestoft and, go to his event over there, and that was quite interesting, and had a few people dressed up Star Wars characters walking around, interesting. But next month, I know next month, I think I mentioned this before, we have the Comic-Con near us, over towards the coast, and we're gonna have Caroline Munro. We're gonna have Caroline, so I'm gonna take a picture. Yes, yes, I'm gonna get a picture with me and Caroline Munro. Hopefully, I can get the picture and I'll put it up on the channel somewhere. 'Cause, growing up, for me, the absolute influence was was a big influence was the Hammer horror movies. Yes, I'm gonna put the picture up. Take the picture and I'll put it up. Um, growing up watching Captain Kronos: Vampire Hunter was absolutely one of my favorite as a young boy. It was one of my favorite ones because it wasn't the traditional vampire. It was, you had a vampire hunter going around, and the vampire didn't drink blood; it stole life, and it was all different. And I was like, "Oh, I love this movie so much." I remember when it came on the TV, sitting there with my VHS recorder, waiting to record it so I could watch it over and over and over. And I managed to record it and watch it and kept it on VHS for so long. Now I have on Blu-ray. Um, but yes, that was and she was in there, of course. Caroline Munro was in Captain Chronos Vampire. Of course, she was in Sinbad and Dracula AD and many other movies. Top of my head, I don't remember them all. But yes, that's so interesting, so amazing. I spoke to my brother who's been to because he does them all, and he said to me, he said, "Get there early because she's always got a big queue because she does a series on Talking Pictures. I think it's on a Tuesday where she has a show, so she's still quite popular even today. But yes, we'll get the picture. It's on the 1st of June. What day the 1st of June is? Let me have a look. The first is going to be it's a Saturday. Good. It's a Saturday. I'm going to get on a Saturday and I'll put the picture out. If you want to see me with Caroline Munro, that'd be amazing. Be amazing. They may have some other people there. I don't know. I missed out on the one. Can't remember who it was now. There was one near me, actually near me. We have a big showground, and we went there, and I left, and then they had someone. Name's gone out of my head. I think I missed out. So this time I'm going to make sure I go early. Yeah. Cheers. So we've got lots of exciting things coming up. Season 3 is going to be amazing. We're already working on it, but want to make sure it all fits perfectly. And like I said, I want to get these ghost stories out just for you, so you can watch them and enjoy them. And I just don't think they got the love that they deserve. So obviously, we don't just want to re-upload it on YouTube. We want to have to create a whole new one. So far, there's so many things here. All my favorites. I don't know if these were the ones I was looking for. In particular, some of these here. These here. So maybe if you want to double check, I think I'll redo this one. No, I'm not that one. Sorry, wrong one. Completely wrong one. This one. This one I really liked. So this is one of my favorite ones. It's from the Ghost Stories. It's in black and white as well, so it's like had that little atmospheric. I really enjoyed that one. The idea behind it was so intriguing. But they didn't get much love here. So if you're watching this, you're thinking, how can I give the channel some love? Please go and watch that. Or, of course, wait for me to redo. I'm gonna redo the whole thing. I think it needs to be redone just a little bit to make it that little bit better. There was another one I was looking at, and I can't remember what it was. There's lots of older ones back here. I didn't know this one didn't get much love at all. 16. I know these ones do very we get lots of love for these, which are I think it's because they have everything. It's the undead, zombies, gods, powerful humans, werewolves. It's like throwing everything at you. Um, so yes, definitely what we're gonna be doing. Definitely. Hmm. So that's what we've got, or I've got in store for you. Much else? Just checking the comments just real quick. Yes, I think the AI music definitely adds to it. Definitely, definitely adds to the story, I think, 'cause you can almost follow it along. Yeah, definitely get the picture up. Definitely get that picture up. And hopefully, as we get more, we can get some more people on these lives. I know people do watch it afterwards. We have a few people watching. If you're here, don't forget to drop a comment, and I'll say hello. I can see you, but I can't see your name. Yes, I think last week you had a few people show up. That was nice. Have a chit chat on Sunday evening. See what we're getting up to. It's always nice to see who, for me, to see who watches what we're putting out. Make sure I'm on the right path. Make sure I'm enjoying it. Give me any feedback at all. I'm very good at taking criticism. I'm very good at listening. So anything you want to see, please put in the comments. Please put in the chat. Any direction you think something should go, put it in there. I'll bear everything in mind. If you want me to say hello, I'll say hello. Maya B, is that how you pronounce it? Maya B. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for showing up. Appreciate you being here. Ah, good. Appreciate it. And thank you for enjoying the content. And thank you for joining me this evening. It's a pleasure to have you here. We're just going over what's happening. I don't know how long you've been with us, but we've been going over about what's coming up on the channel. Going over the intriguing finale, the finale of Crimson Dawn, season 2, part 10. A little bit of an explanation. And then we went over what's coming up. And of course, I didn't drop anything for season 3 because I'm not going to say anything. And I did mention I'll be redoing a couple of tales before season 3, which will be some ghost stories. So please tune in for those. Hopefully, they're not too scary. Hopefully, we can get through them nicely and they leave a little bit of intrigue, not too much fear. But yes, so much coming, so much. Ah, perfect. Perfect. I must admit that I do listen to audiobooks a lot, and I do listen to them in the car. So when I'm going backwards and forwards to places, I definitely I get through 2 to 3 books a month. 2 to 3 books a month easily. Some of it is study because I am studying a few things at the moment, but in studies, they obviously recommend lots and lots of books to read, so we have to go over lots of books. And yes, I commute and listen to that rather than listen to music. I find it so much better. And I don't know why, but it seems when I'm driving, it seems to stick in because obviously your brain is focused on one thing, which is driving, but you're inputting the information as well. And for me, that seems to stick in really well. So um, rather than if I was here listening to it, I'd be doing one thing and another at the same time. Whereas when you're driving, you have to stay there. You have to go. There's not much you can do. You can't suddenly start getting your phone out. I've seen people do that, but personally, I don't. But you can get your phone and start texting somebody. You have to listen. You have to drive. So yeah, I think that's a really good way to learn, and that is while you're commuting backwards and forwards. Excellent. And yeah, and thank you so much for spending time with me on your commute. Appreciate that. I hope I make the journey enjoyable. Just scrolling down. Needs to be a TV series. Yes. The problem you have with TV series is who would do it, and um, the big issue is, I mean, you can I don't how many everything is copyrighted. If you put it on YouTube, it's automatically copyrighted. So YouTube is amazing. If I upload a story to YouTube, it now knows every word in that story, and if somebody puts out the same story, it will send them a copyright strike. For example, I use music which I get from a place called Artlist, so I have the rights to use the music, and every now and then you put the music on, and within minutes, you will get a thing come through and say, "You're using music you shouldn't be using." Of course, I have a license for it, so I send them the license, and then it just goes through. So that's how good it is. It's so good, and, the copyright laws are that if you put, a piece of original content out, for example, in the world, put it on YouTube, for example, it's automatically copyrighted because it's got a date stamp on it. It's the date you uploaded it, and then, of course, YouTube has it's a copy. I can't remember what it's called. Copyright something. And as you upload it, there's a way to check no one else is doing the same thing. But yes, it is copyrighted. Of course, people can take the story and change it around. Not much you can do about it. But yes, it'd make a great TV series, but it depends who does it. Of course, it depends who does it. How many times if you guys are book readers, how many times have you read the book and then gone and watched the movie or the series? Just what was that? I think that's always my fear. That's always my fear. Maybe they could do eventually one day. Maybe they could do it. Look at how the imagery is very, very realistic. Anyway, it'd be great if they could do like an animation with it, but in the way it's done on screen. That'd be great. Let down by my Stephen King's books. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. A couple of books I read. Um, Stephen King. Trying to think who that was. Ah, something I remember I read it, and then a movie come out. I watched the movie and I was just like, "What exactly is?" I'll tell you what else happens as well, is have you ever done this and just watched, like, the original movie and then watch the remake? And you see the remake and you think, "It's terrible. Why did you bother remaking it?" 'Cause, because the views and the way people do things change, and I think the way that you write something, you put something out will be completely different. I did not like the car. The best casting from a book, the film, Interview with a Vampire, Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. Yes, and then you're like, "Who are these people?" Yeah, cast I loved all the books. I think as well, if you watch the movie first before you read the book, then you're more inclined to enjoy the movie. But if you've read the book first, and then you've because here's what happened: your brain is going to build up its own characters, how they should look, their persona, the way they hang themselves, the way they project themselves, their confidence. And then you're going to go and watch someone else portray that, and it's not going to be what you thought it would be. But if you watch the movie first, then you have that already. But yeah, I think should be a movie, absolutely. If we get the right way, then definitely. But there's so much stuff out there now. So getting something like this on a movie or a series is almost impossible. But never say never. Never say never. And of course, we do have the introductory of AI movies coming out sometime in the future. Who's not to say that yours truly couldn't create it as a movie anyway? I study AI quite a bit. And I'm on top of AI and know exactly where it's going. And it's specifically AI for movies. So who's not to say that I couldn't create it myself? For example, well, here, let's do it. We've all seen who had been dead for centuries. Because when you watch the beginning of sorry, watch the beginning of this, you have these characters here. Imagine if AI now knew that next day where they could come around to it and say, "Hey, we want Necros to say these words now," and it said them. Or we want the Necro. It's almost there. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's almost there. There's a program come out, and you put an image in, and it gets that image, and it can make multiple. Change this person to a scene in the woods. Change this person eating their dinner, and it take the image and it will animate it, moving, eating dinner or in the woods. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming close. It's going to be close, and it's going to come at some point where we can grab an image and turn around and say, right, I want the image to do this. And it will do it. So who's not to say that in the future we can't go back and revisit Crimson Dawn? Maybe we'll be on episode 10, 20 by then, or series 20. But there's nothing to say. I mean, I've signed up for it. I already have my name down for the program that I said that changes the backgrounds as you go. It's not quite movie standard, but it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. And that's now. What about in 5 years? Where will we be in 5 years of AI? I think it's an interesting time. A lot of people are scared of it. I think it's fascinating. I think it's interesting, especially for creators. I mean, being able to create the Crimson Dawn series, I would never been able to do that without this imagery, which I get from AI. I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to draw that and put it out there. And just watching me sitting on the screen reading it would not be the same. So yes, I think it's the AI is a great step forward, and I think for creators that have these stories in their heads to bring out and put out, share with people, I think it's a great tool, and I think it will enhance people's viewing pleasure, enhance the pleasure. So you have a great story and great graphics and music, then that's it's all senses covered. Hope that made sense. I do follow AI. I've been following it for a while, and I think it's absolutely fascinating. I think it's fascinating, and like I say, there's some new ones coming out, some really good ones. Let's see what that does. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Imagine if, like I say, turn around and you say, "Okay, let's have Necros destroy Azrael in a battle," and then they see them fight. This would be incredible. This would be incredible. We're not there yet. Not there yet. I think it's gonna be maybe a few years before that, but it's definitely getting close. Getting close. He'll get there, and then maybe we can come back, revisit. I like the vampires. Vampires are powerful. I tried to create the vampire as because I watched the movies and then I read Bram Stoker. I don't know if anyone's read. It's only a short book, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and in the book, Dracula is parasitic, old, evil, like a parasite, drinking the blood of the living just to sustain his life. And then, of course, you can portray all the different people that have cast for Dracula and vampires and made it quite, um, made them handsome and everything else. I tried to go back to create these elders as old, parasitic. So yes, I hope that came across. The vampires, team vampire, team Lycan, and now we just need a team undead or a team winter. Team, yes. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna make an AI video or something and put it out with teams as a trailer for part 3. Which team are you on? I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do that. Are you team vampire? Are you team Lycan? Yeah, I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun. Winter, my favorite character. I've created some characters in my time. Winter is like a mixture of lots and lots of my favorite characters put together and just enhanced his intellect to beyond humanity. His intellect has surpassed. Yeah. Click something there. Yeah, I really enjoy that. I don't know why. I just enjoy the character. Enjoy working with him into making me mad. Good. Doing his job. He's doing his job. He's getting, like he gets at everybody. You think he's you think he's doing one thing and he's completely moved to that next level, the next level of thinking on the chessboard. While they're still moving their pawns, he's already worked out the game. Excellent. Definitely, yeah, definitely an interesting character. And I had to go and study. Fortunately, I'm studying, I already studied brain biology anyway, and, I had to go and study about the electromagnetic fields of how it affects the brain, just to make sure everything was on track. But it was definitely interesting. It was definitely interesting. And what percentage of our brains we use. What would happen if we used 30% of our brain? What would we be? Put that down and, studied that. It was interesting. So, yeah, I wanted to make sure that I got that character right. I agree, he has got on my really bad side. Of course, he is the instigator of the destruction of pretty much everything. But what are his motives? What would a man do for love? That's his motive. Of course, his brain has gone so far forward, he's taken it to the next level, but definitely an interesting character. Fun character. And you're gonna see lots more of him in season 3. And lots more of everything. I created it so that we rebuilt the board. We rebuilt the board. So we have the castle, the dark castle for vampires, of course. We have the northern area for the undead. We have the lichen in the trees, like going to like the nature, and then you have the human encampment, but also small encampments spread around. It's definitely going to be interesting. And then the wild card, the wild card of winter. Bride of Frankenstein comes to mind. Indeed, indeed. The thing we've got to expect is his brain capacity is continuously growing at 30%. What's it going to be like when it gets to 50%? Goodness. Or will it? Have you guessing all evening? Watch the show Penny Dreadful. I did start to watch that. I did start to watch it. I don't know why I stopped. I don't really watch much TV, to be honest with you. I watch movies, but I don't watch much TV. I think I did start to watch it. There's not much I watch on TV now. You can't make her love him when she is reanimated. She lost her human soul. Excellent. I think The Bride of Frankenstein was such a great, great movie. Great movie. I really love Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, and the atmospheric of the shadow, how James Whale got that shadow of the black and white movie, specifically on the old stone, that imagery. I thought it was absolutely amazing. Amazing. I watch that over and over. Yeah. How they got that was so good. So good. You watch it and then you don't realize the effort they actually put into creating all of the scenes that look dated, the way that the shadow and the stone work together. I think that was an incredible, incredible movie. Incredible. I think the same with Dracula was good as well. I think Frankenstein had the edge, but the original Dracula, yeah, very good, very good, very good. Again, I have all of these. I don't think I have the Frankenstein's ones on Blu-ray. I think it's a DVD. And like I always say, if you're going to get these movies, get them on hard copy. Get them on hard copy, because eventually they go in and change them and take the bits out that they think we shouldn't watch. So go, if you have classics, get them on a hard copy. For sure. What was that one? Dracula Untold. I think that was a good. I enjoyed that one. Dracula Untold. I think it's called Dracula Untold. I'm not sure. Anyone watch that? That was good. I'm gonna double check. That was it. Yeah, Dracula Untold. Yes, that was it. Dracula Untold. That was all. I really enjoyed that because how the first vampire was portrayed. And if you notice that in the movies, how parasitic and old he was, exactly like the Bram Stoker. And who was the guy that starred in that? Bonus points. Luke Evans, that was it. Luke Evans. He wasn't old and parasitic, but it was still good. But I preferred the movie for the old vampire in there, the old parasitic one. Coldest Rage are a real good talent for making. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you joining us this evening. Always welcome to come and chit chat. Have a chit chat every Sunday evening. Over Go over the stuff of the channel, but when we just come and talk chit chat. Let's get back to where we were. There we go. Chit chat. We talk about old movies and haunted locations where we've been, where we plan to go, and we put the world to rights. I was just talking about Dracula Untold, so I don't know if you've watched that one. And like I say, I literally watched it. They were supposed to make a part two. I don't know if that was anything happened with it. There's supposed to be a part two to that. But if you watch it, I highly recommend it. You watch where where Luke Evans goes into the cave, and there's this vampire, Charles Dance, famous actor, master vampire, and he's old, and parasitic, and he wants to drain, but powerful. And that is Bram Stoker's Dracula. I like the underworld rise of the Lycan story. Demon Crow, the undead intermix. Yes, absolutely. I like to throw everything in the mix. So we had the vampires, we had the Lycans, and we have the undead. But then you have gods and the character which we all love secretly, deep down in our hearts, the enigmatic Winter, who literally plays everyone like a puppet. The puppet master, Simon Winter. So we have everything. Maybe demons. We have so much opportunities. I've thought of demons. I've thought of demons come into the mix. I've definitely thought of that. Demons, a good one. Definitely thought of demons. As we could summon. I mean, we almost have Azrael in there. It's like a demon. But what if there was a faction of demons? It could be an interesting one for the future. You'd have to get it in there somewhere. Write it in there. You have to think for the minute. There is the world, reality as you know it has been destroyed. In the world of Crimson Dawn, not here. Not yet. The gods are like, y'all down here screwing stuff up. Excellent. And we have the three gods. Maybe when we complete season 3, which I'm not telling you what's going to happen, maybe someone else gets a little bit peed. Maybe. And then they can step in, maybe. We'll have to see how that one works. It's definitely something I was thinking about already. Something I had written down for the series. There's possibilities. I've lots written down for the series. And demons were definitely the problem I have with demons is they're just so powerful. Well, they're like the powers they have are just beyond. They have to maybe just mind the demons or something. Demon versus an undead. demon versus a werewolf or vampire. It could work. It could work. And then, of course, we're going to have to bring in a demon god, which would have to go old school. That's the thing. You have to make everything fit. Everything has to fit. It's like from day one. For example, we can go back a few episodes. Let's just go back a few episodes to winter. To winter. I'm going to make sure I'm not going to spoil anything, but to winter, saving the werewolf cub, the lichen cub. How does that fit in? Is it fitting in? And then we go back to the series where we introduced winter and how it tied in now, episodes 9 and 10. So everything has to tie in. Everything has to be in order. But yes, definitely something to think about. And the gods are definitely looking down, saying, "You are screwing stuff up. Sort yourselves out." I did enjoy that part. Well, they just pushed and pushed and pushed, and in the end, the fabric of reality could take no more. It just pulled apart. It just pulled apart. Fortunately, there was one god that was clever enough and who saw the this coming and created an alternate place, alternate reality, so that the lichen and one weren't affected. But then he was able to bring the other gods there. So if he hadn't done that, would the gods have survived? So cute until it grew up and became scary. Yes. Yes. That's the thing from the original, from the first one, that it was the start of everything was the werewolf. So I had to make it, I wanted to make it nice and cute and interact with winter. But of course, it's gonna have to. It's a werewolf alpha now, so it has to be dominant. It has to be imposing and scary and all powerful. But they were, yes, interesting. Interesting characters. Definitely interesting. Definitely interested in hearing it, reading it, listening to it, watching. Very interesting creating it. Very interesting. There's a few episodes that I had to rewrite. I listened to it back. I record it and I listen to it back. And if I don't like it, I'll go back and change it. Or it doesn't fit somehow, it doesn't sound right. I did this on the final episode. One, my computer did crash, so I had to rewrite it. But there was it's part of it I redid as well. And I redid the part with winter, the winter episode, because I wasn't happy with a part of it, so I had to do it. Yeah, I was halfway through. I save every chapter, but I got to, I think it was only chapter 3. Chapter 3. It crashed. I believe it crashed because of the part where the world reality was breaking. It wasn't my fault. It was the gods pushing the I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. But it just went to do it and it wouldn't. The screen just went blue. I'm like, "No, please, please, please," and it came back and it hadn't saved this chapter. But like I said earlier in this call today, I believe that the 3rd chapter is better than the one that crashed. I truly believe that is our lives. That things happen, things go wrong. At the time, It seems like the end of the world. It seems like reality is crashing down. But when the storm clears, we realize that the storm was making way for something better. I like to look at life that way. So it crashed. Okay, it crashed. Nothing I can do about it. But what if I write it again? Now I've already done it once. And when you do something again, normally you're a little bit better at it. I feel that the third chapter was now better than than it originally was. It took me some time, but I believe it was worth it. And I believe that in all of our lives, things happen, we get tested, we get tested on a regular basis. Things go wrong. None of us have it right. But if we push through, then what lies on the other side is normally better. And that's how we see everything. Because what is the alternative? The alternative is just to get anxious and stressed and angry and shout and scream about something when what a waste of time, waste of life. What we wanna do is we wanna enjoy this as much as we can. And the way we do that is everything's gonna happens for a reason, it's gonna get better. Blame it on the gods. Pick your god. Is it the lichen god, the vampire god, or the undead god, and blame them. Just say, "That's your fault," but you know what? Something good's coming out of that. Always. I don't think there's anything I mean, if you, from your perspective, you're watching this now and you say to yourself, "Remember that thing that happened to me a while back, and I thought it was gonna be the end of the world. I thought that was it. Really dug deep on me, and it got me stressed and anxious. I never thought I'd get through it, and yet here we sit today, past that. We made it. We did it. And because of the event, we're stronger. And because we're stronger, we're gonna be able to face more." The wisdom of the professor. And I made it through. Well, very, very well done, Maya, because the universe tested you. That's all it did. And you turned around and said, "Yes, I'm strong enough. Bring it on. Bring it on." Is that all you've got? We're here to be tested because not everyone will be a winner. Not everyone will make it through. And what that means is the people that are going to make it through will make it. Those that don't, make way because we're coming. The alternative. That's why I always think, what's the alternative? Alternative is stressing and worrying and not getting anything done and blaming. And we can simply turn around. It's a choice for us to say, "I'm going to make it through this and I'm going to come out a better version of myself," which you will because you become stronger. Good. Absolutely. Very well done. Everyone here is proud of you, certainly me, because I love seeing people fight and win. So very well done to you. Very well done. And we've all been we all have our 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 days, our stories, our challenges, our fights. And like I say, what's the alternative? To give up? And we're not quitters. None of us are quitters. If we were quitters, we wouldn't still be here. Fighters. So we keep going. And the world would just keep coming back and say, "Oh, look, there's that person again. Just throw something else at them. When it comes, you say, "Bring it on." Every time you do it, I'm getting stronger. Good. And we have actually gone right on time, so I'm gonna have to slowly wind this. But it's been an absolute pleasure for all of you to join me this evening. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate you showing up. Even if you're watching and you're not commenting, I do appreciate you being here. And if you're commenting, thank you so much. Appreciate every single one of you. And it's great because I come on here on a Sunday. I do this live show, and we can go over anything you want to go over. And I'd like to see you, so I know who I'm creating for, and that you're enjoying the stories I'm creating. Because truly, I can create for myself because I enjoy the stories, but I like to know that it's being appreciated as well. And a banana bread. Oh, my goodness, banana bread. Dragons, what are you doing to me? I enjoyed you being here, Maya. Now, Dragon Tears is saying you're making banana bread. Now I'm going to get hungry and want banana bread. The problem with banana bread when we make it is normally I end up eating the whole thing. Good. Thank you again, everyone, for showing up today. It's been a pleasure to have spent the evening with you and gone over the videos, had a chit, and put the world to rights. And all of us here have shown how strong we are. And once again, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you again for joining me. I've drunk my drink, but cheers. All the way from the USA. Can't wait to next Sunday. Look forward to the. Oh, yes, don't forget, please look out, everyone. Thank you for reminding me. Redoing a couple of ghost tales, a little bit different to Crimson Dawn. So please check them out. I did some before. We're going to redo them, and maybe it's because they needed a bit more love. So I'm going to add a bit more love. Hopefully, some viewers will add some love as well. I do think that they're excellent tales that need to be retold. And on that note, thank you again for joining me. It's the Professor here, and I will see you next week. Take care, everyone.